Bro, what you got?
Got a burger.
Do you know that eating food like that will literally not just make you less healthy, but less wealthy? It's true. Come find out why.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
What's up, Kris Krohn here, and today we're talking about 3 reasons the poor are less healthy than the rich. And I gotta tell you, when I saw today's video's title, I cringed a little bit inside, died a little bit, because I'm like, ooh, I used to be like the fat, chubby kid that I thought nobody liked and wasn't popular because of the way that I looked. And for me, I got some history on this whole thing because, listen, I've done bodybuilding competitions, I've changed my body over time, and I gotta tell you, I'm also wealthy. I've had a chance to hang out with a lot of really wealthy people, and you know what? There's a lot of science and research that shows there's a massive correlation between your wealth and your health. Today, we're gonna explore what that is. So here's the debate. Is this really what the wealthy wear? Or is this what the wealthy wear? You see, I am both wealthy, and 3 months ago I competed in a physique competition. I took 2nd place. And here's today's real conversation. Like, is it that if you're healthy, you have a higher likelihood of becoming wealthy based on the research that we're gonna review? Or is it really the fact that wealthy people now have the money and the resources to make themselves wealthier? And are they mutually exclusive? Today we're gonna explore all this, and I also have a treat for you. We're gonna be talking to a buddy of mine that allowed me a year ago to take him through a 100-pound weight loss journey and what's happened in his life since. So we're gonna get some real data points on real people, as well as taking a look at the facts. Starting with this fact, which comes right from the New York Times. They basically claim the rich live longer. According to a new study of English and American adults, wealthy men and women generally have 8 to 9 more years of disability-free life after the age of 50 than poor people do. There are many contributing factors to this trend, though ultimately anyone can decide whether they want to live a healthy, long life or not. In my personal family growing up, both my parents were very, very overweight, and having been kind of the chubby kid during some of those years in elementary school, I developed a really negative self-image. I adopted this idea that I wasn't fast enough, I wasn't good enough, that I was too fat, that I had a sugar addiction, that I couldn't control my eating, that exercise was hard.
You just joined the 76% of Americans who forget to stretch before physical activity.
All of these things that we call limiting beliefs. And I remember when I became 16 years old, I said, you know what, that's not the life that I want. And so I rebelled. I rebelled from sugar, I rebelled from that way of life, got a paper route that I started biking faster and faster every day. I hit my growth spurt, and I started putting muscle on my body, and I started realizing that I liked the confidence that came from not just looking healthier, but feeling healthy, actually being healthy. And so I've made it a decision in my personal life that I want to be healthy my entire life. Not just when I'm young or maybe when I'm in my prime, but my entire life. Health is something that I'm going to make an important part of my wealth. Let me introduce you to Casey Green, a super valuable member of my team. This is his incredible family. Both he and his wife work for me. And I have to tell you, at one point, I started getting really concerned. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's been promoted to manager status. He's doing well, he's excelling in the company. And yet there's something off here. Like, this guy looks like in the next decade, I might attend his funeral. He might actually have a heart attack. And there was a part of my conscience that got to me that said, Kris, you can't let this stand. You have to open your mouth. You have to say something about this. And so a year ago, I invited Casey and his family on this 1-year journey where we were gonna get together and help him lose 100 pounds. And let me show you the Casey of today. What's up,
Hey,
brother?
how's it going? Good, how are you?
Dude, just last Tuesday, we celebrated the conclusion of your 1-year journey, and you didn't lose 100 pounds. You lost how much?
105 pounds.
And by the way, how do you feel?
I feel amazing.
By the way, you look good,
Thank
dude.
you.
Look at this guy. Dude, we've been to the gym together. Was it hard?
Oh, yeah, incredibly.
The food, the diet at first, was it hard?
Very restrictive.
And then, of course, we've had a lot of breakthrough conversations
100%.
on why you did this to yourself and the level of concern that it elevated for you and your family. But just do me a favor and share with my friend right here, like what have been some of your biggest takeaways this last year through your journey?
Oh, the biggest takeaway for sure is you've got to have a mentor. A mentor is going to be first and foremost one of the best things you can do for your life. Thing number 2, you got to commit. You got to find your why, because there are going to be these difficult moments. food, exercise, struggles, that you got to go back to your why and figure out, why am I doing this? Why am I going to continue to work out with Kris? Why am I going to work out with my mentor to build the biggest, best version of my life? And third thing that I really figured out is I can do hard things. This was a year of grueling, intense work to bring out the best version of myself that I've been in the last decade.
And we're going to take a look at Casey's finances. We're going to look at his relationship, where he's at with his wife and his kids. But also together, we're going to go on this journey today of talking about the 3 reasons why poor people are less healthy and why you have a different choice that you can make.
I choose you.
Let's just start with the number one complaint that I hear about all the time that quote unquote poor people say about why they can't eat healthy. And it's this, it's that food is so dang expensive. The healthy stuff, the organic stuff, the non-GMO stuff. At the end of the day, it's gonna cost way more money to be healthy than unhealthy.
Yeah, that's 100% false. My family was spending over $1,000 a month eating out. That was not only like your chain restaurants, but also things like trips to the gas station as like a reward, as a treat for the kids, right? We were spending over $1,000 a month. We took that same amount of money, plopped it into a healthy nutrition plan, and the 105 pounds came right off.
And I gotta tell you, it's probably true that sure, buying like the really healthy vegetables and some of that, there is cost to that because you can't afford to buy as much of this kind of garbage that's out there. And so you're definitely gonna be making a lifestyle choice. Check this out, this comes from the Chicago booth. High income households are willing to pay almost double for the daily recommended quantity of vegetables. By contrast, low-income households are willing to pay more for sugar and saturated fats. In short, wealthier households place a higher value on healthy foods and nutrients. And if you take a look at your family's budget today and you take a look at the food that you guys are eating, what kinds of foods are no longer available in your house?
Oh, we abolished things like donuts, cookies, all the sugary stuff is gone.
Anyone who brings candy into this camp is not your friend.
The treats that we have for the kids now are much healthier than they were before. Sodas all out the door, which I had an astronomical soda budget.
Aren't you robbing your kids like a normal childhood and the opportunity to play and have some fun and let loose? Aren't you really just being a really bad parent?
You know what? Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. These kids love the energy. They love the lifestyle. It's the trickle effect of the entire family.
I'm curious, now that you've lost the weight, like, how do you think your parents, your kids narrate that? What do they talk about when they're like, oh yeah, my daddy, he lost all this weight?
Yeah, no, the narrative behind it now is, hey, we get to do all the things that I couldn't do before. We get to go play at the park. We get to do the football. We get to do the hikes. The things that we want to do as a family instead of dad's on the couch watching TV or dad's, taking a nap or whatever that looks like. The energy level is through the roof.
So yes, it's helped you transform your body. Yes, it's giving you more energy, but is it making him more money? Let's talk about the second reason why poor people tend to be less healthy. And it's because of this word right here, stress. Think about it. I remember what it was like when I was poor and I didn't have enough money to pay all my bills. I was stressed out of my mind. And you know what? We're looking for relief. And there's a lot of types of relief out there, but one of the easiest accessible ones is overeating or eating some of the wrong foods. In fact, I'll tell you, 7 years ago, I made a promise to never eat anything from the Reese's Peanut Butter Company ever again. It's been 7 years. I've never had one because all the way back then when I was stressed, guess what I would do? Family size bag, I could freaking take that down in like 30 minutes. Check this out. Decreases in wealth are associated with more stress, fewer wealthy behaviors, and less leisure time. According to data from the Gallup Healthways Wellbeing Index, Americans in poverty are more likely to suffer from a variety of chronic health problems, both psychological and physical. In other words, when you don't have enough money to pay your bills, we are looking for coping mechanisms, or we're looking for the places where we can spend money to try to get somewhere, and we often turn to food. Casey, as a person who knows what it's like to have been 100 pounds overweight, and in your own financial journey of going from not having the money to getting raises, to actually going to place in a company, entering upper management, starting to invest, first of all, are you wealthier today than you were a year ago?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like the bonuses come easier, the investment is going better, right? Multiple opportunities just seem to be appearing to me. And that's been super beneficial for us.
What kind of stress was there in your life being 100 pounds overweight, and where was your motivation at for wanting to lose it?
Oh, the stress was immense, and it was from work, it was from guilt, and a massive amount of guilt from not spending time with the family, not being able to do the things that the kids wanted to do, not being able to go on vacations, things that were really just holding me back, generating a lot of stress and a lot of space in my head.
So listen, if you are a subscriber on this channel, you know that one of the benefits is I come out with a video every day, and if you go to any of my other social media platforms, it's always about teaching you how to awaken that financial genius, because more of this stuff gives you more options in life. The more money you have, the more good choices you can make that can actually reduce stress. But one of those things that we're looking for is, wait a second, I want to do better financially because I want to make it even easier also to just be healthier, to have time to go to the gym where I can actually relieve some of that stress.
Oh, yeah.
Also buy some of that really great healthy food that's out there, and also maybe not blow a whole bunch of my wad on food that's unhealthy so that I can invest the difference, right?
That's right.
So Casey, let me put you on the spot.
Yeah.
When we started working out together, up until that time, did you actually have a gym membership?
I did not.
Why not?
I didn't think I could afford it.
Okay.
I was ashamed to go to the gym, being 100 pounds overweight, and it wasn't a priority.
So it was an opportunity to save money.
Yeah.
All in disguise of trying to help the family.
Correct.
Meanwhile, check this out about exercise. According to a study published in Preventative Medicine, researchers found that on average, individuals making over $75,000 a year engaged in more exercise each day compared to those making under $20,000 a year. I'm curious, do you think this is true or false? What's your guess?
Oh, I think it's absolutely true. Before I started the health journey, I was on 2 different types of medication that I was taking monthly. I was spending thousands of dollars at the doctors. I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure, dealing with depression, the whole gamut of things that was costing me money every single month.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. When I look at the start of my journey, like one of my original impetuses for being wealthy was because I wanted to have freedom, and I wanted to have the freedom to do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. I wanted to world travel. And I remember when I started world traveling, I got off that plane and I stepped foot in, the Caribbean, and I looked down and I don't like what I saw, and I'm like, man, I've been investing my money in property. I've been investing my money in business. I have not been investing very much money into myself, and certainly not taking care of my body. For where you're at today, like how vital and important is the gym to you?
Oh, I can't go without it. Matter of fact, I now show up at 4:50 at the gym every day.
4:50 a.m.
4:50 a.m.
Okay.
Because that's that important to me. When we're on vacations, we're looking for hotels that have gyms. It's a lifestyle for me and my family now.
Yeah, so that's ultimately what we're talking about here. I'm not saying that you're going to stay poor your entire life if you don't become healthy. I think what I'm telling you is that wealthy people not just take care of their finances, but they take care of the things in life that are important. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of my core definitions of wealth, it's a person who takes care of their body, their relationships, and their finances. And why is that? Well, if you've ever met someone who's financially really successful, but going through a heartbreaking divorce, that person will tell you that it's as if they've achieved nothing in their life. And yet, I know people that have the most amazing relationships, but they ignore their health. And what that does is that also places limits. In fact, you can get to a point with your health where a day might come that you would trade all that you have just to buy a little bit more time. You're never really going to find real happiness and fulfillment in your own life, I believe, unless you're figuring out how to achieve all 3 of these, which is every day, how can I become a little wealthier? How do I become a little healthier? And how do I make sure that my core relationships are doing better today than they were yesterday? Health, wealth, relationships. You take care of those 3 things. That's my ultimate definition of wealth. It's not how much money's in the bank. It's not your net worth. It's whether you have time. It's whether you have money and the freedom to live life on your terms the way you want. And you're going to want a healthy body to make that possible. So if you want to know something kind of funny, literally a year ago, we were sitting here, but we were doing a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Or was it a podcast?
No, it was the start of the health journey YouTube video.
Yeah, and basically there was a comment from someone named...
I think it was like Po Boy or something.
Po Boy?
Yeah,
couldn't afford
Po Boy
the
44 or something.
And what did he say? He basically said, wow.
He said, oh, this is the model of health, because we were talking about health on the podcast.
It was a little bit of a slam, right?
Oh, for sure it was. It was the impetus for why we got going.
Yeah, and Casey's been in my world for the last year. He's going to be with me for a long time to run, because we've got a world to do our part to transform and change. And I look at you today and I'm so proud of what you've achieved.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, it's by small, consistent things every day that you forge a new cycle for a new destiny, the possibilities that you want. Check this out. There's a feedback loop. If you've got low income, it's going to lead to financial stress. You're probably going to work more, pick up a side job, do something as you're worrying more, and then you just have more reasons to neglect your health. And it's not just a circle, it's a downward spiral. Poor health and low income are often correlated, though the cause can be hard to discern. The reality is that bad habits in any sphere can create a feedback loop which affects your entire livelihood. Breaking the cycle at any point can increase your health, wealth, and overall satisfaction that you have in life. And listen, there was a time when I cared to go to the gym and have the 6-pack because when I took my shirt off, I wanted to feel a certain way. I wanted to feel a certain way for my woman. I wanted to feel a certain way for when I went to the gym, how I wanted people to reflect on me. Today, honestly, my ultimate why, it's about having and commanding the energy that I need to have good vibes, good feels, and do the things that I need to do to live the life that I have in front of me. I get to influence a lot of people. I get to help a lot of people. And I feel like I do that at my best when I feel good about my body. So when I go to the gym and when I work out, when I eat healthy, it's actually an expression of love. It's a validation of my self-worth. And it's one that says, I'm taking care of this temple that God's given me. I'm going to treat it well, and I'm going to invest into it. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work hard. That's an investment. I'm going to eat healthy. That's an investment. And by doing those things, I am more prepared to live a more full life. The kind of father I am, just like you are. And so as you look at your health journey and breaking your loop, like, what has it meant to you?
It's changed my entire outlook on life. Not only by seeing all of this thing almost in reverse, right? It's increased my income, my finances are better, I'm working smarter, and my health is now a priority for me. So it's almost taken the entire feedback loop and flipped it on its head to make me a better person.
It's been a powerful year of transformation. And so Casey and I are here and we're asking you, are you ready for your next most powerful year of transformation? Because if you are, I've got something really cool to share with you. It's time to rebalance the budget. It's time to mix up your habits. It's time to start doing things a little bit differently. But where do you start? Well, for me, it comes down to aggressively saving, and here's why. Use healthy habits as an excuse to save money. Instead of eating out or going to the movies, go for a hike for free. Find excuses to use your health initiative to turn your life around both financially and physically. In other words, take the savings from not blowing it on poor health and use that money so that you can invest it. Because when you invest money and you make money work for you, it gives you a return. Like, for example, I often invest in real estate or franchises. I buy businesses. And the reason why I do this, and it doesn't always take a lot of money, is because these things now work for me. When they work for me, I have more money. When I have more money, it becomes more stress-free life to go to the gym, invest as a positive feedback loop even more into myself. It means that I can afford that really great healthy food. It means that if I'm gonna eat out, then I'm not eating at some crappy restaurant, but a healthy restaurant. There's a place for enjoying food for sure, but honestly, realign your priorities. Put that money towards something that works for you so that you create more freedom for yourself. So here's my invitation, both from Casey and myself. Casey said it earlier. He said, I had a mentor, I had a coach, and they showed me how to regain my health and reclaim it. And if you would like to know what it could look like to work with a member of my team to help you reclaim your health, there's a link below to get a free health game plan. In other words, there's a system for putting on muscle, losing weight. There's a system for accountability. There's a system for getting coaching, no matter where you live in the world, to have someone step in, coach you on your meal plan, coach you on your physique, your exercise at the gym. If you do all of these components and you put it together the right way, you can reclaim your health, you can save money, you can invest the difference, and guess what? Now you're better off all around. Casey, true or false?
100% true.
Casey, your journey in truth, though, was really crazy. It had its moments, probably moments where you really wanted to bow out because of how uncomfortable it got.
It's true.
But in the end, was it worth it?
100%.
If you want to know what Casey's real year-long journey was like, and you actually want to track what that was, go ahead and click this link right here. You can watch the first video in his health journey so you can witness his transformation. Hey, bro, what do you got right there?
Seen the burger.
Don't you know that...